Hello, welcome to our second panel discussion. This will be our panel on smart cities, and the panel will be led by Martin Noskovič, the Business Development Manager for ALAM, Traffic Systems and Security Systems.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you to this Smart Cities panel. It's my pleasure. As was mentioned already, my name is Martin Noskovič. I'm responsible for smart projects within the company ALAM. The aim of our company is smart and intelligent mobility in the cities and collection of data from technologies in the cities. So my pleasure to be here. Our guest for today panel discussion will include Mr. Professor Milan, the president of the Czech Smart City Cluster. Welcome. Ms. Veronika, Vice Governor of Trnava region. Juraj Hošták, responsible for smart agenda of the Ministry of Investment, Regional Development and Informatization of the Slovak Republic. And the last but not least is Jaroslav, Očenáš, CIO of Trnava City. The aim of today's discussion is to provide an insight and current perception of smart city projects from each of our distinguished guests. Hopefully we'll learn what the smart cities means to them. We gain some insight from the side of ministry plans, from the side of strategy of the government of the region, and from the Trnava city also some best use cases from Plzeň city, from Professor s.r.o. I believe that today's discussion will be valuable and will bring insightful experience for each of us, and will take away knowledge and inspiration for the future. At the beginning, I will open the floor for the panelists, and first will be Mr. s.r.o. S.r.o., you will start with introduction of your perception of smart cities. Then we will have a small opening speech from Juraj Hošták, and then we will continue with discussion about the topic smart cities, and also we would warmly welcome your questions from the audience. So once again, thank you very much. I hope we will enjoy this panel. And now, Mr. s.r.o., the floor is yours. Please introduce us your perception of smart cities. We are curious about what's your understanding of smart cities, and what are the latest projects of the region where you come from. Thank you.
Maybe, I don't know, stage or carpet.
It's up to you.
Carpet for me better. Is possible? Yes.
Without microphone, can you hear, Mr. Professor? Okay, so
It's about. Okay. I have preparation short presentation. Not only about smart city activities on the Czech Republic, but I think very in this time is very strongly is joining to region, and maybe example of good practice from the region. My position is one position is president of Czech Smart City Cluster, but I have very strong activities in Plzeň region as vice dean for strategy and development of Faculty of Mechanical Engineering in University of West Bohemia, and I am coordinator of innovation and research and development activities in Plzeň region as regional risk-free manager for cooperation in this region. I think the strong, clear answer for smart city activities is regional innovation ecosystem. This it's must make together, for example, cities quadruple helix activities research organization, large companies, cities, region, villages, small middle enterprises, universities, and all together. I think this is maybe clear answer for smart city activities. This is our part of the Czech Republic. We have a very good position for cooperation with Bavarian activities. Our regional ecosystem is not only in the Czech Republic, but in Niederbayern, Oberpfalz, Oberfranken, when we very strong cooperate with universities, with companies, with cities, using, for example, infrastructure of system, health security system between both countries, and so on and so on. Opportunities for this region is in many activities, and maybe answer for this is regional innovation strategy. This is only strategy. Strategy is very long document, but I have prepared a short video. This video describe our activities. Just a moment.
The sound is this. Sorry, I can't really see.
You have cancel there.
Yes, but I can't.
You cancel, okay.
I've lost
The main fields in which we pursue research, development, and innovation in the Pilsner region. New materials, intelligent manufacturing systems, smart mobility, biomedicine and medical technology. These are the main fields in which we pursue research, development and innovation in the Pilsner region. Create your future with us. Innovate with us. Our region has a history of innovation. Important trade routes have always led through here. The first book was printed here. The first electric lamp was lit. We've seen dynamic developments in transport and new fields of medicine. Two of the world's leading brands, s.r.o. and Pilsner Urquell, were created here. We are successfully continuing this tradition. We are a region with traditionally strong industrial players, innovative companies, and major university institutions and successful research centres. But we're not just an industrial region. You can spend your free time wandering through the countryside or visiting historical and industrial monuments. You can be active or relax with great food and great beer. There's something for everyone. Here in the Pilsen region, we're involved in materials engineering, research into metallic materials, 3D printed machine tools, special steels, the research and application of thermal spraying, and new technologies for the forming and heat treatment of metals for mechanical engineering and the automotive and energy industries. For example, if you ever come across a smart window which controls the amount of thermal solar radiation passing through depending on temperature thanks to a special coating, this patent originates from research at our university. Manufacturing, power plants and industry in the Czech Republic and abroad use intelligent control systems designed by engineers from innovative companies from the Pilsen region. The university's Research Technology Centre is developing completely new applications for contactless thermal imaging measurement, and not only for industry. Sophisticated computers that are built into medical devices are saving people's lives, and they're also being used in industry, transport and aviation. Smooth running. Let's take a look at another rapidly developing field, smart mobility. But we're not talking about just developing new electric drive systems. This is about a whole range of technological innovations for the operation and management of urban traffic, wireless charging, autonomous systems testing, and transmission development. One leading field we're dedicated to is biomedicine. This focuses on research and development in the fields of organ replacement and regeneration. This includes research into the prevention of viral infections after kidney transplantation, as well as research into antibiotic resistance. Specialist software is helping to diagnose and treat liver cancer as sensitively as possible. Software and diagnostics are also helping to prevent transport, medical, and sports injuries. Create your future with us. Utilize the potential of the Pilsen region. In practice, in research, at the university. There will always be innovation. Let's succeed together in the world. Innovate with us. The Pilsen region, the best place for innovation.
This is partner that participate on our innovation ecosystem. This is a presentation of our region, but many activities is smart city application, for example, smart window, public traffic, modeling and public traffic. Pilsen has many companies oriented to new vehicle in transport, energetic, turbines and so on and so on. Okay, maybe. Yeah. I say that the city of Pilsen is not only city of beer, but I think this is a city of engineering, city of university, city of mobility, energy, maybe smart city. Okay, and very strong organization that administrate these activities is Information Technology Administration of City of Pilsen. This is their address, citmp.cz, and their three pillars is making life easier, we develop talents, and we inspire entrepreneurship. I think this is maybe definition of our smart city activities, because several years ago smart city was mainly technology orientated, but I think is we must make life easier, working talents, support of startups, and so on and so on and so on. I stop this presentation. I have prepared some slides. This example maybe later I present for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for your insights and your presentation. And I would like to offer the floor to Juraj Hošták, the representative of the ministry. This is the floor for your opening statement.
No, it doesn't work. Well, anyway, so thank you very much for having me, for the invitation, and I'm glad to be among such interesting panelists, and I think it's going to be an interesting discussion. I'm going to keep it very brief. While my colleague from the Czech Republic presented what they have achieved, we had to look a little bit back and look at what are the pain points that we face here in Slovakia to get somewhere close to where, not only in the Pilsen region, but also in Czech Republic in general, and many other inspirational countries where they have progressed. So I think many of these points are not new to who knows the ecosystem in Slovakia, but just to give a quick recap, what has been sort of challenging for us, because we are a newly created ministry, a ministry that combines three important pillars, of course, money, investment, EU funds mainly. We also combine regional development, so finally a concentrated strategic approach to regional development, and also digital. Right, so that's absolutely crucial for this topic, and that was a very opportune time to create a national coordinating body for the agenda of smart cities and regions. So very happy we made that transition from what was previously an uncoordinated field, and it was an agenda that was basically sort of in a siloed approach, separated across the ministries. Again, the subject matter expertise remained at the ministries, but the coordination is now done centrally, which of course has an impact on the efficiency of disbursement of EU funds, efficiency of using national resources, and also to strategic planning and implementation of projects in the regions and in the cities. I want to say we are now working on overcoming the challenges, and I think we've done a great deal since the inception of this national or coordinated central approach. And much of our work is culminated in the formulation of an action plan, which was done, of course, with actually many of the partners sitting here in this room as well, with their active participation, their feedback, and their basically let's say, adjustment and alignment with what is actually needed in the cities and regions in Slovakia. The action plan has 12 measures which sort of aim to infuse the strategic development of cities and regions in Slovakia to adhere to four main principles. The principles are obviously strategic and integrated planning, done on the national level, but done also through or with the help of the regional the research and development innovation strategy, as my colleague from the Czech Republic mentioned. And of course, also through specific strategies that the regions and cities in Slovakia have formulated, and they actually include also investment strategies and investment plans, which is very helpful for us to understand also future plans of the cities and regions. And then, of course, inclusiveness, because we do have different stakeholders and different actors across the board in Slovakia. And of course, last but not least, innovation, right? We do need to focus on innovative things in the agenda. For a very simple reason as well, because there are many initiatives that are already sort of taking care and steering the, let's say, conventional agenda. I think we'll get into that discussion with the representatives from the region and from the city. So as I mentioned, the approach was very inclusive already, and it was very much coordinated and very much consulted with the stakeholders. The stakeholders, very much like it was mentioned already in the presentation from the Czech Republic, including all the relevant actors that help basically foster innovation and adopt more rapidly and more effortlessly innovation into the modernization of public sector, and many others. What was already mentioned in the first slide, something that we see that much more can be done is international and cross-border cooperation. Slovakia, unfortunately, in many topics is virtually unknown when it comes to EU structures, when it comes to extremely important pioneering and R&D initiatives, both internationally and on the EU level. So this is something that is still ahead of us, and we definitely have to work hard on fixing that to become a little bit more recognized and perhaps also play our role in advancing new ideas. Because as much as we are a small country, many of our thought leadership and strategic thinking is very much in line with the most progressive countries in this agenda. What we struggle is with how it's actually implemented and how it leads to tangible results. So I think we can go to the most important part of the opening statement, and that's not only we have now a new position within the government structure of Slovakia, and I dare say also in relationship to our partners in the cities and regions and also in the private sector and academia. But also we have now a dedicated allocation, so a dedicated budget from EU funds, which is explicitly targeting the systemic measures that we have formulated in the 12 steps of the action plan. It's of the amount of over 100 million euros, which I think is quite substantial. And there is potential still to play around with the budget a little bit because it is a very horizontal agenda. So we will be discussing budgetary arrangements also with additional partners, both nationally and internationally. But the important thing is that we're also providing more than half of this allocation to the cities and the regions as long as they fulfill some conditions for projects that are smart and that are in line with the four strategic principles that we formulated in the action plan. And well, I guess I've said almost all the important things in a very small nutshell, and I guess I can reveal a little bit more once we get into the discussion, not to take more time. Thank you very much.
Juraj, thank you for your insights about the plans and actions of the ministry. And now I would like to give the word to Ms. Woods. I would like to ask you to describe how Trnava region is acting in the field of smart city. What are the best case studies? What's your strategy for the next years, or what has been done? So please. So you can
Thank you for the question. I would like to first thank you for the invitation, and let me introduce you how is it in the region, in the Trnava region. This year, we have adopted smart strategy for the development of the self-governing Trnava region, which means we have planned for next 7 years how to develop the self-governing Trnava region in smart technologies. It has 3 basic objectives. First is we would like to introduce the principles of smart policies in self-governing Trnava region. Second is we need to map the current state of Trnava's region environment in the era of the smart region agenda and related innovations. And the last but not least, we would like to increase the quality of life through the application of smart principles in 4 main domains. These domains are data, services, premises, and IoT in the competencies areas of the territorial self-government. To the best practice, current examples of good practice under the self-governing Trnava region conditions is definitely the home emergency call service. We call it SOS button. And this is in the public since 2020. It's through our agenda, which is called KIRA, and its cooperation with Samaritans Association of Slovak Republic. The self-governing Trnava region provides a domestic emergency call service. As of 2020, more than 370 devices were installed in all 7 districts of the Trnava region. These include the elderly, disabled people, people waiting to be placed in facility of social services who live alone in household. The number of calls from clients we have reached is over 3,000. And in the middle of this year was this number actually. And in 394 times the contact person was called, and almost in 100 times was called the emergency service, which we can say saved the lives. We continue to distribute these SOS buttons through the whole district of Trnava. The next, our vision is to the provision of telemedicine services. Self-governing Trnava region through its health facility, which is called s.r.o, plans to provide starting in 2023 telemedicine services to clients. Specialized person smart devices enable online data collection with subsequent evaluation of clients' vital functions in the real time. The measured parameters include, for example, temperature, blood pressure, saturation, pulse, or glycemia. The device can also notify the patient of the need to take medication, the time when to start exercise, or to fill out a regular questionnaire service related to the health status. This telemedicine represents an innovation approach in order to increase the prevention of residents in the region and indirectly to improve the quality of life, all while in home environment. We have next couple steps, which is like a campaign, bike to work, or low carb strategy that we started to implement. A couple words to the low carb strategy by preparing a medium-term strategic documents. Self-government region Trnava from UE funds ensured a systemic approach to long-term and sustainable energy development of the region. This strategy has 3 pillars. The first is public and residential buildings, introduction of system of evaluation, monitoring, and planning of energy savings and reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. The second is transport and mobility, vehicle fleet, fuel management, electromobility, traffic throughput, and road maintenance. And the third pillar is energy consumption and purchase, which means cost reduction, financial saving. The low carb strategy represents the basic for the development of Trnava's region energy policy and Trnava's concept for the use of renewables resources. So far, we have the total number is 96 entities. We have 7 organizations, 9 buildings, which were identified for the next period, which are suitable for implementation in the form of GES. And the basic parameter for choosing the suitability of buildings is the net return on the investment, which in this case is over 10 years, with a total investment of 3.4 million euro. And subsequent annual saving would be over 330,000 euro per 1 year, which means the reduction in emission by 405 tons per 1 year.
Very interesting. Thank you very much for presenting this project that were already in life, for sharing this best practices. Mr. Očenáš, I would like to ask also you, what are the cases and what are the projects you are proud you are already implemented in Trnava? Maybe some few words about a strategy for the future. What was the aim of the Trnava city? Some of us know that you have very innovative. Mayor. Thank you. So we'd like to introduce this topic to us. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. First of all, I would like to mention that, as my colleague said before me, we are both coming from the Trnava, but she's representing the Trnava region, which is much bigger area and much bigger place and many inhabitants. I'm representing just the city of Trnava. The name is the same, but one is the county and one is the city. So just for the information, the Trnava city is a small city with about 65,000 people, inhabitants. It's located around 40-50 kilometers from Bratislava, so you can go there and check it. It's a very beautiful city. It's called the Slovak Rome because it had so many churches. And as Martin, as you asked for the smart city in the city, we started maybe 7-8 years ago, and we tried everything. Maybe not in the biggest scale, but we tried a little bit of everything. And when I'm talking a little bit of everything, I'm speaking about IoT sensors. We are talking about another kind of sensors. We are talking about policies for the people. We are talking about parking sensors and so on. The thing that we are mainly focused, and like you mentioned, our mayor is the biggest fan of the modern digital technologies. Maybe the most important thing and the thing that caused us the most energy was the traffic, the area of traffic, both kind of traffic. We recognize 2 types of traffic: the dynamic traffic and the static parking. Static traffic, which is called parking. And currently, maybe someone will disagree, but I consider the Trnava the most advanced city as far as the static parking. We started our citizen regulation parking 2 years ago. We are now providing the parking through the applications. So in the best case scenario, the inhabitant of Trnava can ask or request his parking card through the application. He doesn't need to come to the office. And through all stages, we are trying to make the things as simple as possible. At the end, there is an enforcement layer. There are the policemen who are checking the license plates. And for this topic or for this function, we are using the cars with the scanners. So we are doing it automatically with the cars which are gathering all the license plates, and they are evaluating the permits. And in some scenarios, they are producing the tickets automatically. So this is something that we have been working on the last 2 years. And also for the traffic itself, we are big fans of alternative types of traffic. For example, bicycles. We are building many kilometers of traffic roads, traffic corridors. We are also trying to monitor the corridors with the sensors, so we know the exact numbers, which can give us the predictions for the future. but we can also evaluate the investments right now. So we can say that this part of the city or this cyclist roads has been used by this many bike today or yesterday or this month or last month. So we are also gathering the hard data from these types of traffic. And also, for example, as some maybe nice points of interest, we have built the first robotic bike parking tower. So you maybe saw it in Japan with the cars, but we have the robotic tower for parking your bikes. So it's located close to the train station. And when you come for the commute by a train in the morning, you will put your bike into the robotic tower. It will take it on the next free spot. You will get a ticket and your bike will be saved there for 8, 9, 10 hours. How many hours do you need? And then you will bring the ticket back. We'll put it in the machine and the robot will take your bike from the tower and put it back to you. So your bike is completely safe for your trip to Bratislava, for example, because a lot of people from Trnava are commuting to Bratislava. So this is maybe something that can be interesting for other cities as well.
Thank you. If you feel already finished, I started the brief, not to interrupt you, sorry. So thank all of you for presenting of the projects and all of the plans of the ministry. We already are talking about smart cities for a few years. And, my question is for all of you that maybe I would specifically offer to you, Jaroslav, and to Ms. Woods. Do we have some key points or key learnings that we already learned from the past and from the, for example, I'm asking you because you mentioned the implementation of the project. You already tried everything, almost everything. So what is the key learning for you? And also, maybe the alternative question is that does the topic of the smart cities change over the years? The perception of this topic did change.
So maybe I will start that I heard the term smart city 7 or 8 years ago when I was applying for my current job. I knew that I will have to make some presentation before the city management and try to impress them. And there was a lot of people there in the hearing, and when I mentioned the smart city, that I think that now nobody understand me. At the time, we are speaking about 8 years ago. And since then, I hate the word smart city because I think that it's overused in many times. So the change, we for example in Trnava, we never have any ambition to like. I saw, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but in other cities they put the chair on the main square with the solar panels and USB charger, and they call it a smart city. So we never intended to go this way. We understood that to call something smart, it's not enough that it's powered by the solar system, solar panels, or something else. By the way, I forgot to mention that also in last years we bought or we installed a solar panel on every single of our schools in Trnava. So also another chapter is solar panels and cleaner energy. We are also trying to cover this section of the field. But as I mentioned, we always knew that it has to be bigger. And I like the from Mr. Professor's presentation that if there is something that I'm expecting from smart city, I expect it to make the people life easier. It's a very simple way to put it. And I don't think that the chair with the solar panel and the USB-C recharger is making the people's life in the city simpler or maybe more enjoyable, or however we want to call it. So we are focusing on the big projects, and maybe what can be as mentioned as maybe not so, how should I put it, good covered by us, that we are gathering a lot of data, but we don't have any department or any person or anyone who can work with the data. We are missing the person. I know, for example, Bratislava has its own data office and they are working with the data 24/7, but we in Trnava don't have anyone like that. And that is maybe some of our flaw or some mistake we made. We of course are working with the data, but someone is requesting, tell us how many bikes are going through this lane and tell us if the weather on the day was hot or was it raining, etc. But not continuously. We are not paying the needed attention to the data. So that's something that we can definitely improve.
I think you want to mention something?
Yeah, I have to agree with my first speaker because we have the same keys that we found. We were preparing 7 strategies this year for our region, which contains over 500,000 of people. And by every strategy, we met the same problem, that was correct data analysis and correct numbers, which made the time for preparation longer, over 1 year. So this is the first what we found. Before we want to bring some good and smart and efficient strategies or principles, we have to have the correct data. And what I've noticed is in the last 2 years that the small villages in the region try to catch up, try to reach to the smart city approaches. They try to integrate it in their lives, which I found very, very good. And it's not only a question of science fiction. If it in the small village with 500 people can be something smart, yes, it can. The answer is yes, it can. So we are very proud of these partners. They are coming to us. They try to prepare projects with us, and I hope that by 2030 we will have this in the region done.
Juraj, want to mention something? Okay.
So yeah, of course, I mean, we do recognize these problems that you mentioned, these challenges, and to go back to your question, Martin, when you asked what changed, I think we have realized through unfortunate projects and maybe some practical mistakes what smart city isn't, and what kind of mistakes to steer away from, which is great, I think, because we learned it firsthand. Of course, it cost a little bit of money as well, but at least we have some bad examples to be aware of, and we can leverage that in our favor. And from the national point of view or from the central government point of view, I mean, we are obviously behind, which for us can be, and we are trying to turn it into our advantage because we can basically leverage the mistakes of others while we're trying to basically catch up as well. That's what the villages would be doing as well. So we look forward to seeing how that works out for us. When it comes to the data, we also see that. So we are very surprised if a strategy comes back with the good data. We are also struggling with data. I think it's improving every month, but it's still something that we need to work hard, not only on the municipal level, but also on the government level, on the national level. And we have a new kind of data coming in as well, right? We're going to be talking about much more data coming in from these sort of smart solutions. And this data is unlike the other data that you would probably need for strategic planning. This data would be, let's say, an uncharted territory, right? There's no real guidance in terms of how this data should be structured from the beginning of the project when it's being implemented. So there's a new discipline even when it comes to data, and this is something that we prioritize in our work as well, because we want to make sure that we catch up with those countries that already have some sort of coordinated approach and can tell the public procurers or the municipalities, okay, if you're doing a project in this area, beware, these are the data sets that you might want to consider for your projects to be successful. And then already start thinking about what kind of data would you be needing once you're in the strategic planning moment. So it is on our radar, and we are in a position that we look forward to any kind of constructive input from the municipalities. And you were absolutely right. The term is many times misused because it became to mean everything. 2 aspects of it, of course. Before, it was much more technological or technology focused. I think now it's becoming a little bit more open to also process innovation and also to behavioral change approaches, which I applaud, and that's why we also structure the financial support to include not only technological projects. So I think that's sort of a positive move for us that we're changing. And as much as I don't like the term as well, and it's on my business card, unfortunately, but still, there's no better term to encompass all the aspects that this agenda basically entails and where we want to make advances in. So just wanted to add that.
It was also the direction why I asked this question, because we all of us, would you remember those times when we say smart cities a few years ago, like 5, 6, was a really, whether I can say that it was a sexy, and we had a lot of conferences about smart cities, but the approach was much more technological. Professor, you are the president of Smart City Cluster in Czech Republic, which is a well-established organization in Czech Republic. How do you perceive this change? What will you change for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years in this field from your perspective? And maybe to move the discussion further, what awaits us? What are the changes for the future?
I try to prepare my magic sphere. I think my colleague described maybe situation on various level, ministry, region, city. My point of view is maybe following. This is time that about several years ago, main impact was technology-oriented application for smart city. Now and for the future, I think we must prepare not only application, maybe better life for people, and we must prepare people for the future. For example, with teaching preparation. Entrepreneurship environment for this young people. My example from Pilsen region, we realize so-called Pilsen Pine, Pilsen Innovation Ecosystem. This is system preparation young people for example, for the university and for life, that we realize from, for example, 8 years children on the start maybe play with, for example, IoT and drones and so on. And later and later, this children preparation simple project. Next is preparation simple business project, and we have prepared on our region some acceleration and incubation program, and start their idea for business. I think this is very good tools for preparation people for the future. And from my point of view, this is future model of smart cities, smart regions, smart villages, and so on.
Thank you very much. Any other comments from the future and the challenges which are ahead of us in this field? Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I confirm completely. I mean, the people are already now a challenge and will be ever more so. I think each of the cities and regions in Slovakia will have the same challenges we had, because, as I mentioned, we are a newly created ministry, so a newly created department. And of course, we had to look for good people as well to lead the agenda, right? And this is a problem. This is a challenge because such people, or we are basically competing for the same skills and same brains in the market in Slovakia, and obviously also trying to attract brains and talent from abroad. But then you come to this point that, I mean, you cannot really have only people that understand the technology or understand innovation, but do not understand the policy making or the any other kind of area that would be relevant for the municipality, for the national level. So this is, I think it's a very big problem, and I know that there are already some pilot initiatives in Slovakia that started intensifying the cooperation with universities, with educational institutions, to basically address this issue and create this tailor-made skill set curricula that would help basically produce the future talent and the future people that will be working for the municipalities, as long as it will be attractive and well, possible for them for various reasons. We are also doing our part in this, and hopefully soon we will be announcing our initial steps in cooperation with different universities from Slovakia and educational institutions, where we not only want to focus on creating, basically supporting such an educational program for future talents and for existing talents as well in the public sector, but also, and this is something that circles back again for the smart chair or the park installations. These are small innovations, right? Where we had to learn a little bit about the agenda, about the technologies as well, but where the academic community and the educational institution can help us as well through their R&D infrastructures and through an R&D initiatives. They can also help us in implementing something that we call the test beds or the test labs, where basically we would create an environment where smaller innovations can be tested. They can be developed and basically originated in Slovakia as well, or the wider region, and they can be tested in a very sandbox-like environment where we can protect against negative impacts in terms of, inefficient wasting of resources or regulatory impacts or environmental impacts, etc. So these kind of innovations that, in the end of the day, may turn out to be bad moves or bad investments, they can of course be filtered out through such a mechanism that hopefully we will be implementing soon also in Slovakia. Countries like Finland have been running such a program for many years, and they've been very successful with this. Of course, their environment on the both supply and demand side is drastically different than Slovakia, but we hope that it will have the same effect here and we can learn from it, and it can be also an educational vehicle for the people that will participate in the program. From our point of view, one of the key things that we will want to ensure with this program is also the active participation of the municipality, because at the end of the day, that's something that we want them to take away from such projects, is the sort of the process know-how, right? When it comes to the technology, to the data aspects, regulatory, legal, etc. So only to have that.
I will follow in the thought of the schools and academics. Our region has opened last year in November new talent center, which is through an innovative form of individual and group counseling. It enables students in the 7th or 9th grade of elementary school to better identify their strengths and weaknesses, talents or skills. And based on this, it is easier for them to choose secondary school, primary school pupils learn about their talent using standardized assessment questionnaire, which are also used, for example, in Austria. So we started with the elementary school already, teaching them, showing them, and getting them known to these technologies as well. So I have to support these ideas.
Thank you. Would you want to mention something, Jaroslav?
Yeah. I wanted to add that we started with the small kids, and I will add with the students at the university. Like I mentioned, Trnava is also called the Slovakian Rome, but we are also very proud of our universities. There are 3 universities at the city limits. One of them I'm originated from is Slovak Technical University. And in the Trnava, directly in the Trnava, the Slovak Technical University gained from the European Union about, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 10 years ago, 54 million euros to build a center of excellency. And there is I'm not in this expert in this field of science, but they built it. I'm imagining as a very strong ion beam, which can alternate the properties of the metals and so on. And it in its time was the 4th strongest or the most powerful ion beam or ion laser in Europe. So it was very, very expensive and very powerful. As far as I know, for example, Apple is using this technology to improve their metal. So directly in the Trnava, in the middle of the city, we have such a device which has been published by the EU. So there is also a strong accent for research and development in Trnava city.
Very good, thank you. We already discussed key learnings we discussed the challenges, and I would like to encourage you to elaborate a little bit about the opportunities of smart cities for the future. So what are opportunities smart cities are? Well, again, we use the word smart city. So we agree that we transfer from the technology approach to the key learning approach and learning transformation. But however, if we use still the word or intelligent city or smart city, what are the opportunities for the next years for each of you, for the government, for the self-government region, for the city, for you? So
Thank you very much for this question, because this is very important, because I think for the future is very important combination new technology and intelligence and so on, and using this people, but the key point is trust to this technology from people side, and I think this is very strong challenges for the future, combination technology, people, and trust to this technology generally. On my video, I present many new technology, for example, intelligent window that using, for example, quantum materials as think level to the windows. This is for example of this technology. My answer is a combination technology, people, and trust to this technology together.
thank you.
I will continue in my way of speech, so I will speak practical. We are currently renovating, for example, we will still go in the ways of the technology first, I guess. I can maybe point out the one project which is currently undergoing in the city of Trnava, and is also funded by the EU funds. We are reconstructing and upgrading all the traffic lights crossroads in the city with the newest technology. So we will call it, of course, the smart traffic lights or smart crossroads. And there are very interesting parts of the technology, which I'm not an expert of any traffic systems, but we talked about this today. And we, for example, will monitor every modern car has a radio or infotainment which is equipped by the Bluetooth, right? So we will gather the anonymous Bluetooth signals from the cars. We will have some sensors on the traffic lights, and by following the specific car with its Bluetooth signal, we will be able to tell how long does it take for that car to get from one part of the city to another part of the city, and we will publish this data online on our dashboard webpage. And also, I think that then there will be some graphical signs in the front in the city entrances with the road, so the drivers will see how long will it take from them to get from the point A to the point B, thanks to maybe your Bluetooth signal from your audio from the infotainment. So this is project which we are already building or we are already in it, and it has to be ended by the end of the year, because by the end of the year the window of the project, the frame, or I don't know how it's called, it's ended by 2020. So this is another project which will be more focused on the technology, but also we are planning, for example, let's say that a lot of cities has something that they call the city application or application for the city, but as for the chairs with the solar lights and USB charger, we don't think of city application as something that you can read the news, because there's a web page dedicated for that. So, for example, in our city application, for now you can do every single step which is required to get your parking license or parking permit as a resident. But in the near future, because city knows that you are the inhabitant, and city knows where do you live, and city knows how much taxes you should pay, and city knows how much waste do you produce. So we will incorporate this data to the application. So our city application will be not dedicated for the text or for the news for the city, but you as an inhabitant will be able to pay for your taxes or pay for your waste directly from the app. And this is something that we want to be focused on, not some kind of technology, because this is just the software. And I think that it circles back to the quote, let's make people's life easier, end of quote. So this is we will go both ways. I can see it. We will go the technology ways and the improvement ways. We can talk for hours. For example, the city of Trnava has its own, we call it the industrial park, which is a lot of buildings which can be used by the startups. So there's another form of help to the new beginning entrepreneurs or new companies. And it's all done in the properties of the city. We provide the city, the rooms, internet, and so on, and they can build their companies here. So a lot of topics to cover.
Thank you.
And the biggest challenge from the point of view of the public sector is well thought out and targeted public digitalization in the public sector in Slovakia. So from the point of view of the self-governing Trnava region, the topic smart is not an end in itself. The goal of meaningful use of smart approach in terms of municipalities is to provide quality, targeted, accessible and efficient services to citizens, and at the same time through them create an environment for an innovative development of the region. So this is how I see the opportunities.
Thank you very much. Juraj, what's the view of the ministry? How can the ministry support the opportunities of smart city growth?
All of the above. No, I mean, it's a hard question to answer because we are, and especially from our position, because, I mean, naturally, we will support what is an appropriate investment in the given city or in the given region or municipality. And I think that is clear, right? I mean, what has been said here are all steps that can be taken or measures to be implemented in order to make lives of better quality, safer, nicer, happier. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? Because, I mean, we do see trends. I think every book or every article on smart cities starts with the quote that, you know, by 2020, cities will have XYZ% of population living in them. Of course, it's a little bit of a cliche, but it's happening already now. And in Slovakia, if you look very closely about the demographic shifts, you already see some changes that some cities are getting a little bit more vacant. The larger cities obviously are getting more and more inhabitants. So I think that's also one of the ways how to make the environment more attractive to retain the residents. And I think each of us here have mentioned parts of the bigger puzzle, of the bigger picture, that if it comes together, then it's a way, there's no one size fits all, right? So there's no prescribed measure that can be said, okay, if you do this, you'll retain your residents, you'll have happier citizens, etc. You'll have different people, you'll have different ecosystems, you'll have different opportunities. It's mainly about the city finding its sort of niche, supporting that, and making itself sort of special for its own population and growing around that. If we can support that in any way, of course, we'll definitely do it. We are starting right now through especially the focus on data, because we understand that's a huge pain point. Also, already to understand what is the niche, what's the opportunity for the city. You cannot really do that without proper data. So we need to begin somewhere. It's definitely going to be a tough road also for us, but I'm sure that together we'll not get there, because as you mentioned, it's not a destination. It's really about a journey. So we'll make sure that the journey is, first of all, faster, because we are lagging in many departments, and second of all, smoother and less painful than in many cases has been. We talked about some EU-funded projects. We know that there are some challenges and improvements to be made, especially when it comes to red tape. So hopefully the effort will continue in this area as well.
Thanks a lot. We are coming to the close of the discussion, so we have a few minutes. And to ask you, Victoria, whether you have the questions for our experts. So probably please raise your hand and we'll come with the microphone. Okay, thank you very much for not leaving us in the situation without a question.
Firstly, thanks a lot to everybody who is involved in Smart City panel. And I would like to ask you, because you are from different backgrounds, from different parts of quadruple helix. So within your area, whether it is Pilsner region or Trnava or Miri or Trnava Self-Governing region or Alan, which city is maybe within Slovakia or within Czech Republic for you smart city, and why do you perceive it that? Because for me, a citizen of Trnava, really Trnava is for me smart city, because I really see huge progress which was done recently, and I perceive it from the perspective of citizen that our life is much more user-friendly for work-life balance, much more oriented towards nature, to be more friendly towards children, older people, and from the point of view of cultural events, for example, in summer, several years ago, if you went to the city center, you had no place where to relax, where to find the place. Nowadays, you can invite your colleagues, friends, and Trnava is fastest growing from the point of view of visitors within Slovakia, and it will do the something. So really for me, Trnava is smart city. So also my question is, what and which type of smart city in your close neighborhood do you regard as smart city? Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dagmar, for your statement. I will give you the money as we agreed. It's nice to hear it from a citizen of the city, but maybe there is also other side of this coin, and there is a lot of. I don't want to go to political state or point of view, because I'm not a politician. I'm just an IT guy. But the way that you perceive the city is not for everyone. Maybe some people want to have the cars parked right inside the city center, and they want to throw as many garbage and waste as they want, and they don't want to get it weighted and pay as they produce, and they don't want to apply for their parking card with an application, by the way. Another real experience. As for the Trnava, we divided it into a couple of sections, and we are running the sections for the parking every 1 or 2 months. And every 2 months, a very huge amount of young people, instead of doing 3 clicks in the applications, they stay in the row, in the queue, in the city office and wait there for 3, 4, 5 hours just to get their permit. So it's not always just on the city. It's very often also on the citizens themselves.
I try to answer very quickly. I think I can say this is Pilsen, that I think this is every place, every village, every cities where is peace for life.
I think I will also be very vague, I guess, because I'm a unique user, like very much like you, and as you said, there's something for everyone. And I was really, since you mentioned the question, I was really trying to think of this one city that I would have on the top of the list. But I cannot really think of one, because I liked a little bit about every city that I've been to. And I passed through Trnava quite a lot, and I've noticed a lot of the improvements that you mentioned. So really good job, guys. But whether it's Asia, China, Thailand, Spain, I think it's mostly about how I feel in the city and how effortlessly I go through the day in that city. For some reason, there is something about Spain which appeals to me. So I would, maybe among my topics would be some city in Spain. But I have this habit of always thinking about, really identifying some key things that perhaps we could do at home. So even this smooth sailing for me, in many of the cities that I visit, I always try to look for something that can inspire us and we can replicate it and bring it here to have those really happy, smiling people. Maybe it's just the sun, I don't know. But there's definitely something in each city that can be considered smart or is on the good way to be.
Thank you for this question. I quite a sweat in my hands, but I would like to say it's my hometown. It's not yet, but for me, it's smart city every town which I visit, and I found something new that I didn't know before or haven't known before. We can find a lot of inspiration around this area within 100 kilometers, but to name just one, it's a very hard question.
Thank you. Another question from
Martin, the question was also for you.
We're out of time.
Don't put the word.
Right, sorry. Well, I would say Trnava as well. I like the city very much, even as I'm from Bratislava. What? Yeah, but for me, well, I'm Juraj guy and a little bit technology guy, and for me, as well, every city where the technology is used with a common sense and which brings the impact to the inhabitants, so they have a better life. I know that having a better life in the city is a new buzzword, like smart city, but it's the goal, right? So yeah, so we have to rethink it. But for me, it's even not using very smart technology, because smart technology sometimes is this intelligent chair for charging, and using artificial intelligence and these things which is too far from the reality of the city. So for me, the technology, besides this behavior, well, politics, is to use the technology which is already available, which is proven, which works somewhere, which brings the benefits for inhabitants.
Maybe. So obviously I cannot say Trnava, but I heard or I read that there's a huge district in Barcelona which is dedicated to smart city. I don't know, it's called the Area 51 or something like that. I've never been there, but I guess that will be worth of visiting sometimes in the future to get an inspiration from them.
All right. Since I don't see any hand raised, I would like to thank you very much. For me, it was a very interesting discussion. Thank you for your insights, for everything you brought to the discussion. Thank you for your attention, and hopefully we'll be together again in a few years, discuss further what we already achieved. Thank you very much for having me, and yes, thank you.